couple days ago, I talked about the first season of The Chosen. Now I was talking about the second season. Hello, extremely intelligent lambs, and welcome back to the Movie Night Review. I'll be your host today, Peter Wynn. Let's get started. So, we talked about the first season. In the first season, I said how much I like it, and there's good parts about it. It's converted a lot of people to Christianity. It's doing good stuff. But there's also problems with the writing, with visuals, with the music, all types of stuff like that. Second season, does it get better? No. In some ways, I think there's less dark moments in the second season. There's still a lot of dark moments. The writing is still, it's okay. Still, the music is continuing to be bad. I honestly think they're never going to change that music, and it's always going to be cringy. And overall, yeah. But let's talk about quickly the good things. So, some of the storylines in this are really good. I like some of the storylines. Very fun storylines with, for example, I really like episode 2 with the introducing of Nathaniel. It's a really cool storyline, especially I like the part where he's just like, look at what I made for you, God. Why are you abandoning me? All that kind of stuff is just, it really gave a good understanding of what Jesus meant when he said, I saw you under the fig tree. Because then it's just like, he's like, God, do you actually see me? And then when Jesus says, at the end of the episode, when Jesus said, I saw you under the fig tree, he's answering what Nathaniel's prayer was. And it's awesome. But the fact of the matter is that there's a lot of problems with the second season of The Chosen. As I mentioned in the first video about The Chosen, I said that I had the problem of I was too drawn into what they did right, that I wasn't paying attention to what they did wrong. In the second season, I was expecting the same thing I saw in the first season, and it was better in some ways and worse in other ways. It was kind of like, okay, it's good, but is it as good as the first season? I was like, maybe not, and especially the third season, I was having a conversation with my sister about this. She agreed. She has the problem that she feels like the season that the Chosen is starting to go downhill. The first season was a great start, and then every season is just slowly getting worse and worse. And while I can somewhat agree with that, I also can't, because there's some really great moments in season 2 and season 3. But I do see where people are coming from, that the hype of how great The Chosen was, because no one was expecting it to be as good as it was. So the hype was just like, this is the most incredible thing ever. And so when you got a video that was, when you got a season that was like, yeah, it's almost the same thing. I guess a good example I can think of that's kind of like is, I was mentioning this to my mom, the more I get into making these videos and spend more time on this, the more every single time I have to go to work, every single time I have to do stuff besides this, the same way I put it is, it's like having that beautiful dark chocolate and then having to go to the milk chocolate again. It's just like you have an upgrade and you still have to go back and eat that milk chocolate too, until that dark chocolate is enough that you can actually fill up on it. Even though you should not be eating that much chocolate to fill yourself up, you should only be, but the point, you get the point of what I'm trying to say. The same thing is, when you start out, when you already have a taste of what could be and how great it was, when you see it again and it's not as good, it's sometimes annoying. When you see when you see more of it and it's not as good, when the chocolate batch is not as perfection as it was with the first season, it gets annoying. While I think having a boring 9-to-5 job is a lot different than the second season of The Chosen, you get the point that I'm trying to get at, is that once you've tasted the good stuff, it's hard to go back to less good. And in this case, it's just that it's not that you're going to milk chocolate, you're just going to a lower grade. It's not like an 85%, it's like a 75% cocoa chocolate. Or a funny fact, I'm actually a big fan of just bacon chocolate, just complete cocoa. It's just, when they have no sweetener in it, it's so delicious. I love it. And I'm the only one who thinks that, but I love it. Anyways, but the point is that, so that's one problem you get, is when you taste the good stuff, it's hard to get a like version that's not as good. I liked how they introduced the rest of the apostles. So now we have all 12 apostles by the end of season 2. Technically, Judas does not join until the beginning of season 3, but as you have him set up, the last episode it says in season 2 is the setting up of Judas. So now we know who Judas is, and the problem is in season 3, you get to like Judas. And it's going to be annoying because Judas is going to betray him, but I think that's what makes it so great, is that we see Judas in more of a human light, because we just see Judas. As Christians, we just hate Judas, but it's really nice to be able to see Judas in the light of he was a normal person, he was a man who had passions and all that kind of stuff, and he wanted to follow Jesus, but he was just too greedy and money hungry and all that he took the bet, and he actually took the money and sold Jesus to them. And another thing I really like about this season is the whole scene with Jesus and Quintus. It's absolutely awesome. It's hilarious. I didn't talk about Quintus in the first episode. I like Quintus. He wasn't the best, but when he was with Jesus, he's phenomenal. He's the bomb, you could say. He's the GOAT of the series. That's probably the best moment, if not the moment, of Nathaniel underneath the fig tree. One of those two moments are probably the best moments of season 2. Another annoying things onto the problems I have with this season. Again, they didn't fix a lot of the problems. It's still low quality Christian movies in a lot of cases. The storylines can be good, but I mean, the writing is sometimes too on the nose and stuff like that. The music is definitely not changed. If anything, it got worse. But one of the biggest problems I have is that of what they did with Nicodemus. They took out Nicodemus, and I get it, he's not journeying with them and all that kind of stuff, but I kind of wanted to see at least one moment in the second season of Nicodemus, and he's not even in the third season. I want to see Nicodemus back, because while he wasn't my favorite character, he was a good character. Eventually we were going to see Nicodemus again, but I can't wait to see him, and it was kind of sad that we didn't get any clips of him in season 2. All the apostles they brought up, the rest of the apostles they brought up, they did a good job fleshing out the characters. Philip, they're still fleshing out his character, but he kind of just joined them, and we're slowly getting to know him more after his time. He was a disciple of John the Baptist and all that good stuff, so it makes sense that he's already in a good place and he's just joining Christ now, and I get it, but I kind of want to see like more of that character, understand who he is. He has a great relationship with Matthew, and you really see like him helping Matthew grow and all that kind of stuff. So overall, all the characters they brought up in this were pretty good. The storylines are, for the most part, good. There's some moments that are not bad, that are not good. But overall, it's good. The writing has still not changed. It's still not the greatest writing. And the music for anything it's just got worse, probably. They put even bigger emphasis on these emotional music and all, and you're just like, shut up. I don't care to hear what you think I should feel. Allow me to just feel what I need to feel, and not force it on me that I have to feel this way. So anyways, guys, have you guys seen season 2 of The Chosen? If you haven't yet, please you feel free to watch it. It's on the Chosen app. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Movie Night Review. Peter Wade, signing off.